So, I said that I'd try to do a video. It's not going to be the utmost in, certainly no riding content, sorry. Doing the best I can. I put myself together, even though I've got COVID, because, I'm going to do a Zoom segment with the Bikers Lifestyle podcast this evening, and we will tape that for you guys, and I hope that you guys will also check it out on their channel. That's the best I got for content during COVID, so sorry, no riding footage. Thank you so much for all the kind well wishes. Sorry I haven't been able to respond to everybody. I've been pretty down and out. Cameraman has it too. So unfortunately, both of us have not been feeling very well, but we thought we'd still try to bring you something a little interesting and also give those guys a shout out and pump up their podcast. If you don't check it out, you definitely should. They're very entertaining. I joined them like close to a year ago, so I'm back for more. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, I have COVID, but I have still agreed to do something sort of fun, which is an interview with the guys from the Biker Lifestyle podcast. I'm about to connect with them. I'm gonna have a cough drop, but I also might have some of this. We'll see how many sips I can actually take of this vodka soda. Cameraman got me these ones, these Dogfish Head Blueberry, and I loved them. So we're gonna log in. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Okay, how's it going?
Not bad. It's going okay. Here he is.
Hey there.
What's up, brother?
How's it going? So, do you guys care if I record some portions of this and use it for a video about my time where I'm unable to do a moto vlog because I have COVID?
I don't give a flying fuck what you do.
Okay. I wore a good shirt though for you guys.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
I was
Perfect.
trying to get in the spirit.
Yeah, well, that's kind of our shtick here on the show, you know.
There you go.
They don't call us the shit show for nothing. How was the deal with your COVID?
So, let's see, my 11-year-old son last Wednesday said he had a headache, but he gets migraines, so I didn't really, I have a cough drop. That's why I'm got something inside of my cheek. And I still brought vodka soda. So actually Mike bought me these once and I really liked them, so maybe something I could get down. But anyway, my son brought home, well, he said he had a headache last Wednesday and he gets migraines, so I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then Thursday he woke up and was like, Mom, my head really hurts. I'm going to stay home from school. Which usually he doesn't stay home from school with a migraine unless it's real bad. So I was like, okay, fine. He could stay home from school. And then Friday he came in and was said he didn't want to go to school because if he put his head down, people were going to think that he had COVID. But he was also coughing. So we started testing him and he was positive. So far, well, actually, most people at my office had already gotten it. So far, nobody else has. The only person I got sick was Mike, cameraman. He and I were, Thursday we went to look at a car wash site, and we were in the car for 4 hours, and we shared a drink, and so I knew it wasn't going to be good for him. Actually, the person that I'm most worried about, his dad's older, and he was at his dad's house after he was with me. His dad hasn't tested positive yet, but he's positive. So Saturday, Sunday was pretty rough. Monday, I started to feel a little bit better. now I'm just sort of like flatlined where like I'm not so sick that I have to sleep 24/7, but I also like running a 30-minute errand. I'm like I had to go to a bank machine because I had to do some banking, and then I like went to so like through the drive-through. Obviously, I'm not going places and infecting people, but even just like getting gas, going to the bank drive-through, going through another pharmacy drive-through, and I'm like exhausted.
Well, I'm gonna start us up.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's make it happen.
And when we end, don't drop off. We'll chat for a sec afterwards.
Okay, sounds good.
Deprogram, you know?
Okay.
All right. You ready there, brother?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Recording in progress.
And away we go.
Here we are.
Here we are. And, I tell you what, real quick. I'm going to get out of the way now. I'm going to let you talk this time, brother. All right? Because the last time we had Megan on, I didn't let you talk. I get that way around blonde women. Like, I married a beautiful blonde woman, and I some guys get tongue-tied. I talk and talk and talk, and I didn't let this poor bastard have a question in edgewise, and so I'm deferring this time. I'll chime in every now and then when I have something really stupid to say.
It's always the best time to speak when you have something really stupid to say.
Amen.
Well, let me start off by something stupid to say. So, Meg's motorcycle journey blowing up on the internet.
Hi,
I can't even believe she's even talking to us right now.
Oh, stop.
I mean, it is. No, well, I mean, come on. So, the country's all talking about it, and I'm curious, seeing as how you're a lawyer, Kim Kardashian passed the baby bar.
I saw that.
Does that make you feel good as a woman, as yourself? Like, do you see her as empowering young women to become lawyers?
No, because I think, so the way that she is going about this is a process that's really only still allowed, I think, in 2 states, California and 1 other state, where instead of going to law school, you do like an apprenticeship and then you study and do these things. And I guess I have mixed feelings about it, because I do think that you get better experience and you're better equipped to practice law from real life experience than you are going to law school. But I also think law school serves a very distinct purpose. I will say this, and this is not kind what I'm about to say, but I think it weeds out people that are not going to be good attorneys. Because a lot of people start and then end up quitting through law school. So I'm the type of person that from kindergarten to undergrad, school is easy for me. I don't have to try that hard ever. I hardly studied for anything ever in high school. College, I did minimal studying. Law school was a shock to my system. It is so much harder. There's so much higher of an expectation for performance. And I think a lot of those skills, being able, and like, listen, let me just say that I'm the first person, it's all over my Facebook wall, it's all over everything any page that I have that's a personal page. I do not think college is for everyone. In fact, if my boys want to do a trade, I will encourage that. I think that when my generation was getting out of high school or in high school, there was way too strong of a push for people to go to college, and people took on debt that they don't need. I mean, the debt that I have, I'm regretful. It's, a huge stressor on me all the time. So I think that in most cases, people would be better to consider going to trade school or junior college, or especially like I own businesses now. So like I own businesses with my partner, my cameraman, and like he's really well suited to own a business and run a business because he's a really good leader and has a lot of those leadership skills. But school was never his favorite thing, and he doesn't really need to have a degree to run a business. He does really well with all of those things without having a degree. And a lot of other people that are small business owners or tradesmen do better. And so I'm the first person to say, like, I don't think everybody should go to college. I don't think it's a big deal. But practicing law is something where you need to have the set of skills that you get from academia. Maybe she'll be great, and I don't have anything personal against her. But I feel like it's cheating a little, maybe.
Kim Kardashian and that whole trying to be extra so you get views. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what?
It's all about being a spectacle.
Can I just say that here's something that's really frustrated me about the YouTube channel, and that is that I work really hard in most all videos I put out to put out some like cool shit, some quality content. Like, I want to show people cool shit. Like when Mike and I went down and rode the tail of the dragon, like that's cool shit. Like I want to show people, you know, when we rode down the coast and stayed in Key West on a houseboat, like that's really cool shit. And so like am I frozen? I might be frozen. I hope not.
No, you're not frozen.
I'm not frozen? Okay. So I want people to see those kind of things. Like, okay, so we test rode a live wire, which I know a lot of Harley enthusiasts are not into the live wire, but hey, it's worth trying. It's worth checking it out, seeing what it was like. And even Mike, who's like a hardcore, you know, traditional motorcyclist, Harley person, he still had fun with it. Like, we agreed that we wouldn't, and neither of us would buy it right now as our primary bike, but it was fun. That video was awesome. Like, it was fun to watch. It was cool to like check it out. That did not get hardly any views. I mean, it got like 10,000 views or something. But like, I have videos that have over 100,000 views. The really sad part is the videos that get the most views are like ones that have a clickbaity title. Like, that's literally all that matters, is like a clickbaity thumbnail and a clickbaity title. So it doesn't even matter if it's like the coolest video and I'm taking people somewhere really cool. So I kind of understand more now. I mean, I still think a part of that, like what they do, trying to be extra and get views, is being a sellout. A little bit, but I get it now, because it's like I work so hard and I put so many hours into editing videos, and like, you know, Mike and I have gone all sorts of places where it's like cold, or, you know, it started out to be a really fun ride and then it ended up being miserable. And it's, you know, frustrating that I do all those things and then people like don't care about that.
I tell you what, your cameraman Mike can't afford a live wire because he had to purchase 3 240 tires this year.
That's right, he did. It's because he rides like an asshole.
He just got that one, and I watched that, and he was pissed, man. You could tell he was ready to go full boost bozo, man.
Well, he rides the hell out of that bike. I jokingly just said he rides like an asshole, but he's like the most skilled. I mean, he does. He does. I mean, he's like
big asshole.
He's the most skilled rider I know, but he also rides the hell out of that. He gets, you know, takes full advantage of being on a motorcycle. So I think, yeah, we spent a lot of money on tires for him this year. I'm not gonna lie.
We do. You know, I was watching your one video too. You guys are doing the Blue Ridge Mountains. You're there in Virginia.
Yeah.
And everybody's falling all over the place. And one guy lost his floorboard.
Oh wow, that was crazy.
Yeah. I almost lost a floorboard on a journey that we took when I came down here to Florida. A bunch of the club guys, they ride me down to Kentucky, and we're cruising along. I don't know where the hell we were, somewhere in the oblivion that's called Illinois. Yeah, the portion where we're driving through the state, you want to kill yourself.
Okay.
It's so flat and there's nothing to look.
It's so boring, right?
Highly unrecommended. Don't drive through Central Illinois.
Okay. I'll take that into account.
Don't tape it. There's nothing to see there. Anyway, I'm also thinking, I got, you know, my floorboards like flipping all over the place, and I was lucky enough that the bolt actually stayed in. So.
I mean, that was insane. I got a lot of criticism saying, oh, you should have canceled the ride. Why would you do that? And the issue was that the weather report said it was going to be rough where we live, which is in Maryland. So like probably 2.5 hours north of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So, but it said that once we got down south, it was going to clear up and be nicer by like, I think the weather report said 11 o'clock the sun was going to come out and it was going to be nice down south. So we were like, okay, we'll ride through, an hour of rough weather, 2 hours of rough weather in the morning, but then it'll be nice when we get there. And it just didn't. It was so foggy. But once we got there, there was folks that came from Pittsburgh. That's like 6 or 7 hours from there to see us. And so at that point, I didn't want to be like, hey, you rode 6 hours to see us, but hey, all right, now go home. See ya. So anyway, but everybody was fine.
I got a bad front tire too.
That was just my own stupidity. I mean, I had ordered one and it just wasn't in yet because of the tire shortage thing that we got going on. So I had ordered one. Yeah. I don't know, Mike told me it looked rough like a month before that maybe, and I had ordered one and we were just waiting on it coming in for a couple of weeks.
So since the last time we talked, your channel has kind of taken off.
Well, thank you.
Well, it is. It is what it is.
We just got 20,000 yesterday.
You're our number one watched video.
Really?
Oh, that's true.
Aw, that's awesome.
Everyone loves Meg. So, but I'm kind of curious. I kind of noticed that you've been getting some haters lately.
I
They're
do.
giving you a hard time.
I get a lot of haters.
How do you respond to these people? Like, do you ignore it, or do you do you read the YouTube comments, or are you more like, I'm gonna post and whoever likes it, whoever doesn't, fuck them?
So I have tried really hard since the very beginning on both YouTube and Instagram to be very appreciative and cognizant of the fact that people do not have to watch my content. They do not have to tune in, but they're the ones that are funding this journey for me, right? So I am very appreciative, and I've tried to, form relationships with people that are subs, and so I try to answer as many comments as I can. Certainly the kind ones I almost always respond to if I can, especially if they do it like that day or the next day. Am I cutting out or am I okay? Did I freeze up on you?
You're okay.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
So it just keeps telling me internet connection is unstable. So anyway, I try to respond really hard to as many people as I can. I respond to almost everybody on Instagram Messenger. I respond to comments on YouTube. When they are nasty, it depends on the comment. If it's just a little nasty, I will either ignore it, or if I feel like it justifies a response, then I will respond back. Usually I try not to defend myself. Sometimes they're super nasty. Like I've had one person tell me that they basically accuse me of molesting my children. I've had somebody, I have no idea. I've had somebody say that they hope I fall and all the skin comes off my pretty face. I've had people say they hope I get road rash or I don't come home to my children. Just really evil, awful, terrible things. Last week somebody said that watching me and Mike is like watching two, I think, excuse me, I don't use this word, but retarded cousins date or something nasty.
Oh, shit.
Just nasty stuff. I don't know. Just people say shit all the time for no reason. I've had people, a lot of, a surprising number of men that are nasty to me. I expect it from women.
Last time we talked was last year, and I'm kind of curious, since the channel has blown up as it has, what would you say is your favorite point of this journey that you've been on, being a YouTube star?
I mean, truly the riding and the trips are my favorite part. I mean, I think that there's something about touring on a motorcycle that is so different than driving cross country or going on a road trip. I mean, obviously it's very different, but the actual like packing everything up that you need for a week on your bike and hopping on your bike, it's you're vulnerable in a really different way than if you were taking a trip in a car, and like that adventure and excitement, like I love that. And something that we have done that's really cool is I look for really neat Airbnbs. So it's kind of exciting because like I look at the pictures before we go, but like every time that we go, the next place that we go, I'm like, oh, what's this one gonna be like? What are we gonna see? So I really like that adventurous aspect of touring. And the riding has been amazing. I mean, we have some like mountains here in Maryland, but nothing like when we were in North Carolina and Tennessee. I mean, that is just, it's breathtaking. So that, just seeing that, I mean, I can't get enough of that. We're talking about trying to go cross country in 2023. So I'm trying to plan that. Obviously a much longer trip. Maybe some Harley dealer will loan, I'll have to start begging people, maybe some Harley dealer will loan me at least one touring bike so that one of us can take that and we can have some more storage. But I think that would be my favorite part, has just been the excitement of going all the new places, experiencing things on a motorcycle. You don't get to, when you ride in a car, you don't know what something smells like. You don't know, you don't have that same, like all the senses that you have when you ride a motorcycle. It was like the weirdest thing. So me and Mike were riding to New York. We went up to ride with Moto Blonde and we went to Vermont. And we like rode through this patch, and it was, you guys know as bikers, there's, when you ride through the mountains, elevation changes, it gets colder, it gets hotter. Like those are sensations that you don't have in a car. And it was just, there was no change in elevation, there was no nothing, and it was just like this cold patch, and we were joking that it was like a ghost or something, like an extraterrestrial that we just like rode through. But like those kind of experiences, you can't get that doing anything else.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, people can talk all the bullshit they want. I am 100% convinced that you're the real deal.
Oh,
the fact that you're sitting here talking to us, coughing your brains out with the world's worst fucking disease on planet Earth, apparently, and you're pounding out miles, you're doing everything that you want to do, you got a million things going on, and I don't see why anybody would want to fuck with a strong woman like yourself in today's day and age, when everybody's looking for a role model or everybody's looking to point to somebody that's killing it. You're killing it. Like,
thank you so much.
Poster child. Yeah, I mean, how are you not the poster child for every woman's movement in this country right now? Because you're killing it.
I appreciate
You know
that.
what I mean?
I appreciate that. Thank you for the love, because I get a lot of hate. I appreciate it.
No, that's no problem. I mean, real talk. I mean, you're pretty much, I don't want to say dominating, because, I mean, that's sort of aggressive, but I mean, like, you're making a hell of a mark in a men's world.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Mike's a good cameraman. He's got the angles down. So.
What the fuck he's doing?
Shout out Mike! Shout out to Mike.
He's good at his job.
Well, when are you guys going to be in Florida?
Still deciding. Either we'll be in Florida the 3rd week in January. So my birthday is the 2nd week in January. And this was going to be a fun trip for my birthday. So we are either going to be in Florida the 3rd week in January, or we will be in Florida in March. I'm still working with the dirt bike guy to figure out if we're going to do the dirt bike trip in January or March, and if we're going to switch them around. So it's just going to depend on his calendar. But we will either be in Florida the 3rd week in January or in March.